Mathmech is a deck that's pretty notorious for its ability to OTK your opponent, and while it can do that, you do actually have a lot of going first options. So I decided to make a going first combo video for Mathmech to go alongside the deck profile that I previously put up on the channel. If you'd like to see the profile itself, I'll leave a link in the description of the video down below. So, why don't we go ahead and get into some combos. I have a total of 5 combos that I'd like to show off in this video. 4 are for going first, and 1 of them is for going second. Our first combo here can be performed with Balancer Lord and any Mathmech monster. Balancer Lord is going to be the key to a lot of our low investment turn 1 combos, because it allows us to get into our Devotee combo, which allows us to then get into Cyberse Wicked. Cyberse Wicked lets us grab a Cyberse Tuner monster by banishing a card. Since we can banish our Balancer Lord, we can then special summon the card that we search. Importantly, this does not lock us into Cyberse. This 2-card combo is ultimately going to end you on a Borreload Savage Dragon and a set Super Factorial. This means that you're getting between 2 to 4 interruptions on the opponent's turn, depending upon when you choose to activate Super Factorial. If you don't want to use Super Factorial, you can use it on your turn in order to help OTK on the following. Our second combo can be performed using Balancer Lord and Mathmech Sigma. This combo is going to look very similar to our first one, but what's distinct about it is Mathmech Sigma can revive itself if you do not have a monster in the extra monster zone. So you get 1 additional extender, and that is important. Sigma will be locking you into Cyberse monsters, but by using it at the end of the combo, you'll still be able to end on a Savage Dragon and a Super Factorial, while also ending on an additional Xyz monster. What this allows you to do is it allows you to OTK your opponent on the follow-up, which is important in this deck because this deck doesn't have a whole lot of recovery options. So being able to go ahead and know how you're going to OTK your opponent is something that's very valuable. The Alimbertion is the key to this easy OTK on the follow-up. By bringing back your Nabla, you'll be able to go into multiplication and then easily access your final Sigma. This monster is a 6,000 attack point Ultimate Falcon that deals double battle damage. Our third combo here is an easy way to play around Nibiru. You can't always do this, but I recommend doing so whenever possible. The key here is the card Mathmech Diameter. This card gives an effect to an Xyz or Synchro monster that uses it as material. The effect given allows it to negate a card effect on the same turn as the Xyz monster or Synchro monster is summoned. This is easily accomplished by going into Alimbertion early on in the combo, but you need additional extenders in order to ensure that you can do other things, since you do need to have 3 Mathmech monsters in graveyard in order to use Super Factorial to its best ability. You can still do it with 2, but it's always best to ensure that you can go into a Laplacion whenever possible. Additionally, by using Diameter for Laplacion on the opponent's turn, you give it that same effect that you used to negate Nibiru on your turn, meaning Laplacion turns into a card that can potentially deal with a total of 4 opponent's cards. But be careful, because if you do 1 additional summon, for example through IP Masquerena on the opponent's turn, you will have to deal with that Nibiru that you negated the first time. That said, you do have an easy way to go ahead and stop that since you did use the Diameter for the Laplacion. Just be cautious of that. The final of our going first combos is a combo using 3 cards that can end you on a potential total of 6 interruptions. By using Laplacion with the Diameter, you can deal with a potential of 4 opponent's cards. Additionally, you'll end on an IP Masquerena and the Code Docker Countertrap. The real trick with this board is to use IP Masquerena as late as possible. You can use your other negates without using up IP Masquerena, but if you use IP Masquerena, you stop your ability to use the other negates. Additionally, if you don't use IP Masquerena, you can use it as link material on the following turn in order to be sure that you can OTK your opponent. The final of our combos is just something that's really important to remember whenever you're playing Mathmechs. Nabla plus any Cyburst extender is a very easy OTK. You get into Mathmech Final Sigma, 6000 attack, double damage, can attack twice. With cards like Kaijus, Droplets, and even Nibiru in some examples where you can give your opponent a token in attack mode, it's super easy to OTK your opponent, even through something like Dragoon. Now that we've gotten through our combos, let's take a look at some replays and see what this deck can do in action. Our first replay is up against Dinosaurs, and it shows just how devastating this deck's first turn boards can be. Dinosaurs are a deck that is notorious for its ability to break through strong first turn boards. We aren't even going to be going into Laplacion on the opponent's turn. Instead, we'll be taking advantage of the fact that our opponent will think that they're safe under Miscellaneousaurus. This is through the effect of IP Masquerena and Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. There's an interesting ruling with this. You can take an opponent's monster and use it as material regardless of its effect. You can even steal an opponent's ultimate falcon using it as material. By doing things this way, we're also going to ensure that we have follow-up on the next turn by searching a diameter off of Alambertian instead of trying to take a card out of the opponent's hand with Laplacion. Since we play Borreload Savage Dragon, that's game. Our next replay is up against Heroes, and it shows just how resilient our boards can be. Even through something like Super Polymerization, we're able to hold an amount of our monsters thanks to the fact that we aren't throwing everything out all at once. Super Factorial is an extremely good card, because you can time when you throw out your boss monster, and because you can time it, you can hit your opponent at very unopportune times for them. And one place where Super Factorial absolutely shines is forcing everything into a simplified game state. If you can ensure that you have one monster in hand to combo with after you Super Factorial and get everything down to an absolutely simplified state, it becomes very easy to win with just a transcode talker or an access code talker. And with Diameter in the deck as well, you also have a very good option in a simplified game state of just going into Borreload Savage Dragon and ensuring that whatever your opponent top decks is not going to be useful that turn. All that said, if you know you're going to be going into a simplified game state, try to be sure you have a Sigma in Graveyard. It makes your recovery options a lot better, especially in a top decking war. The deck's synchro monsters can be absolutely busted in a simplified game state. The final of our replays here shows something that the deck actually struggles with a bit. There are some boss monsters in the current format that are a little problematic for this deck to deal with. The Wind Barrier statue is a good example, and so is El Shadal Winda. There's a reason why I choose to main deck Kaijus in this deck, even though this deck is a going first variant. That said, it is easy to side additional outs, and it's not that hard to put those outs in your deck to begin with, since you do essentially get a free mulligan off of your Link Disciple. Of course, if you don't see those outs that you do happen to main deck, you're probably going to be losing game 1, but you can win games 2 and 3, for sure. If you made it this far into the video, I'd like to thank you for watching. Mathmech is a really fun deck to play. While it doesn't have any 1-card combos, it does have some really fantastic 2-card combos, and if you haven't actually tried playing this deck online or in real life before, I would definitely give it a shot. It's a bit of a thinker. It definitely takes a bit getting used to, but Superfactorial is an extremely good card. Laplacion and Final Sigma are both fantastic boss monsters, and the deck is just really fun to play. Thanks for watching the video. Tell me in the comments section down below what you'd like to see next, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.